Good morning and welcome to our live webinar on Sales.Live. We'll show you some key features of Sales.Live and then we'll show you the direction to set the software up. I see a few users in or customers or partners in from Australia, some from New Zealand, and although we have some registrations from South Africa, we will send them the recording clearly. Good stuff. My name is Peter Whaley. Let's get cracking on Sales.Live. If you've not ever seen Sales.Live, it's for sales team or external teams in the field. And if they want to see customer information, stock information, inventory information, then they can do so easily with Sales.Live. They can also process orders, quotes, invoicing, and of course it all syncs to the magical data connector, which syncs to the business system. Let's hop straight to the website. What the average person will do once they've set up Sales.Live through their partner or themselves is, of course, they would log in on the Plus.Live platform. When they do, they come to the page called the applications page. You see I have a few additional applications on the Plus.Live platform here, forecast snapshot, but the one we're interested in launching today is sales, and we'll come back to the Plus.Live platform at a later stage. Okay, now the key features really, you're able as a customer to see customer information, you're able to see inventory information, I'm able to do a quote, an order or an invoice on the quick entry screen, and of course I can add actions. Now remember, this is available to you across any device, and as long as you've got an internet access, you're free to go for it. To give you an idea on some of the information that's available via the business system, I've clicked on customers and I can see all of my customers. I can hide or add columns here depending on the device I'm using. And of course I could search on a particular customer right there, but let's just, for the example, look at ABA. I can move across to the details, and when I look at the details, I'm now accessing the information in the back end. So this will show me details of the customer, including contacts, areas, contacts, additional contacts, any addresses that are within the back-end business system, any common items that that customer sells or purchases, special prices, if you have templates within your business system for most commonly purchased products, for example, the order history, certainly the invoice history, and we have a few other areas as well. Now note, there's notes and action list. The notes is the notes that comes from the business system. The action list are the actions we take on the left-hand side here. And if we add an action to a customer, it'll display in this action list here. And then of course there are custom fields. Now I have a demonstration database. It's particularly poor, but it's sort of deliberate because with Snapshot.Live, Sales.Live, you can always trial any of these applications for 14 days for free on your own data. And once you connect the data connector, all of this information will come across. So that is the high-level view on one of the key features, and that is access to customer information. Likewise, inventory information is freely available to me when I'm on the road. So quite useful if I want to see, for example, any of my particular inventory items, and I can immediately only tick on those that are stocked. Of course, I can search on any item. The first three letters will bring up whatever is in my inventory. So I've just typed in BR, you can see there as well. And once I've done that, I can move across and I can view the details within the business system for that particular residual bar inventory item. Same kind of thinking, more details around the code, the group, and so on. I can access notes, prices, any images. If I have, depending on my business system, alternate or complementary inventory items, that'll bring it across here. And of course, the action list, which I mentioned 2 minutes ago. Custom fields, sales, last 30 days, all of that is available. Now, of course, I'm punching through that because this is a 14-minute webinar. Again, if you trial Sales.Live, all of this information will come across. So that is simply superb. Okay, back to home. Now, of course, aside from accessing customer and inventory information, you might want to process an invoice or a quote or an order. and the person in the field would just simply click on quick entry. It opens up the quick entry screen, and you'll notice a few things. First of all, you'll notice the actual categories here at the top. Of course, I have my items listed through here. I can change the display and the column headings. And again, I can choose common items, stocked items, and I can search on anything. So the first process, of course, would be to choose a customer. So BA, whatever comes up, Charlestown Baptist Church, very happy with that. And I can now start adding items. I can search for my walnuts or whatever it is, and I can start to add information. You can see I'm clicking here, and as I click that, just above my mouse, you can see that the cart is being updated. So it's as simple as that. And when I'm happy with that, of course, I can add multitude of items. You may have also seen there was a little blue indicator here that shows a template, so I could bring that through as well. And then I can also, clicking on quantity, I can start to see where my warehouse stock is. And from a pricing point of view, if I have special pricing, I can see that as well. Just simply marvelous. I'm now going up to finalize the entry. I do that as such. And on this next screen, everyone, you start to determine whether, I'll just scroll down gently, whether you're going to issue a quote, an order, or an invoice. And depending on which one you choose, different actions happen. So for example, if it's an order, a signature pane might appear. If it's a quote, you have a choice to send a copy to the customer, and so on and so on. So back up to this, finalize the information, order number, reference, any notes, sales representative. There are settings within Sales.Live that allow me to link the sales representative to warehouses, for example. If that's not your thing, then you can overrule that. Discount percentage or discount value, I have the ability to choose that, and that impacts here. And so I can make my final changes in the actual cart screen. So I'm not happy with that. And once I'm happy with that, I submit any one of these options. So of course, when it does that, instead of having to rekey that information back at the head office, the team at the head office can then approve that, and it comes into the business system. So that is back to the home screen. We have now given you key feature 1 and 2, customers and inventory. We have shown you a very quick overview of how to process an order or a quote or an invoice. And the final component on this key feature is the actions. And we've added this in for customers. You can see it's still in preview mode. We normally leave our new additions in preview mode for quite some time. But what the action list is, you can add actions to either a customer or an inventory item, and that becomes pretty useful. So if I click on that inventory item, you can see it comes up with a few columns. It's the not started action, it's the in progress action, and the completed action. But of course, I can view it in another way. I can look at it by type, and if I click on that, I now see the actions via note or via task, appointment, or phone call. And I can drag and drop these across and move them across at will. But if I go to the high-level view, I add an action, webinar detail, and the status. I can choose what that status is. I can allocate it to a customer, typing in advanced technologies. There they are. And when I save that, it's now added to that particular customer. If I go back to home and I look at that customer, I can search for that customer right over here. So VA is what I started there. And I can then look at advanced technologies. And if I go across to the detail in the action list, I'll be able to see that particular note. Now, one other point I want to show you or explain to you is you can even add appointments. So when I add an action and I add an appointment, that'll download the appointment, and you can open that up in your Outlook or in Google or whatever, opens it up and saves it. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is a high level on the key features. Now, how do you get up and running on this particular platform? Well, it's fairly easy. I'll go back to our website and you can lodge a free trial. And here are the steps to actually getting up and running with Snapshot or with Sales or the upcoming forecast. Lodge your free trial. What that does is it allows you to set up a company portal and the admin user. When you set up the company portal and admin user, retain your email address, of course, and then you log in. And when you've logged in, as I showed you earlier on, then you will land on this page. Now, bearing in mind, as a new user, you will have no applications here. You need to add an application. So that would be one of the first things you do is add an application. While I'm here, I'll just show you on the right-hand side. That's a pretty picture of me. Here you have the Plus.Live apps. That's the page I'm on at the moment. The administration, that leads you to the engine room of Plus.Live, and you can see your applications, your profile, including a company profile, users, user groups, the subscriptions you have, your transaction history, so you can get your invoices, and the magic, and this is the step-by-step process, your data connector. So to set this up, once you get up and running with your company name and first user, join your business system by clicking on the data connector. You can see I have a few data connectors here already, but you would start with a downloadable data connector if it's a desktop-based business system, or you can add a cloud connector. When you download that, it downloads it to your desktop, and then you'll follow a bunch of steps to connect your business system. So you'll need a few pieces of information. Now, again, beyond the scope of this, but I'll just show you how you go and get some help, is let's head across to here. You can see we've got a help center there, or alternatively, if I go to the website, you can see under support, we have both learning, and if I click on support, then I can now start to look at my entire list of help articles. The Plus.Live portal is where you would start. That's the engine room. And then you've got the different applications. If I click on the portal side, here are a number of steps getting started. What is Plus.Live? How do users work? Creating a company portal, and so on and so on. Quite important to update your time zone, by the way. How to set up the data connector. So it goes through a very specific bunch of steps for you. And there you are. And then if you are setting up Sales.Live, then we have the Sales.Live Help Center, and that shows you the initial setup, general setup, user roles and permissions, adding and inviting users, connected mode, quick entry, and so on and so on and so on. So here we are on the Plus.Live. I can open that, the actual data connector. I've just gone back to that. I'm not going to go through this, but I'll just open the actual connector and show you some of the basics there as well. So that's it. Welcome to the Plus.Live connector. Click on next and you follow the bouncing ball until you connect your business system. So that is Sales.Live. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a few other important points. First of all, you get set up. You have a 14-day, and then you would subscribe to Plus.Live. Where's the pricing? All on our website. Have a look at the pricing on the website. And you have a further 30 days to determine whether you want to continue. So if you signed up for the business plan at $49, or depending on your country, $5.99, or in euros, all the pricing is listed there, then you can add your users. And if at the end of that 30 days you don't find the functionality you deserve, then you can cancel us. So once again, we make it easy. And now I'm at 13 minutes. I've done phenomenally well. My name is Peter Whaley. Thank you so much for today's session. We're always available on support at Plus.Live. Have a look at our contact information here as well. And if you're a partner, there are a bunch of steps you can take under the learning process here as well. Thank you for your time today. Take care.